Hello trainers, Ganeto here, and today we're diving together into Open Master League with a team that I think can get you to Legend, to Expert, whatever your milestone might be. So we're gonna use both Dialga and Mewtwo on a safe and solid backline, while Kyogre up in front will handle most of the meta-relevant threats. So over here we're just gonna go in with our Mewtwo, able to grab those shields against Dialga, and what I like about this team is that we have extreme coverage against the ground types that Dialga might be afraid of with both our Mewtwo and of course Kyogre, while Dialga is gonna be a very good closer most of the times. So over here we're just gonna keep pressuring with our Shadow Ball, able to do a lot of damage and grab both of them shields out of play, but of course we also have zero shields. At this point we can easily go in with Kyogre, tank one Iron Head in the process. I was pretty sure that they cannot get to their bigger move and the Draco Meteor, so at this point we're just gonna get to the Origin Pulse for almost the one shot against that Togekiss. So as it seems they're gonna get to their superpower first, but it doesn't matter, this is Master League after all, and we can survive those moves not with ease but still with a relevant amount of HP. Down goes now this Landorus, and of course Togekiss stands no chance against my Kyogre even on that little amount of HP. Into the next one now trainers, and we're having Dialga up in front. So right here we need to switch out obviously to our Mewtwo and we have to play the baiting game. However, this opponent goes straight for the switch to the Lugia, which gives me some time to think, and I think that we need to get to the Shadow Balls. So if you do not have Shadow Ball on your Mewtwo, just be sure that you have Side Strike, because this move is absolutely amazing. As you can see over here, we can bait for the Shadow Ball, they are gonna block, and right after get to a back-to-back barrage of attacks with the next move being the Shadow Ball, and of course they're gonna take it thinking that it is gonna be just a Side Strike and we were baiting, since we were just one Dragon Tail away from fainting, but they do not know that we can get to both the Side Strike and the Shadow Ball if we have 100 energy stored up on our Mewtwo. Doing so we can definitely get rid of that Lugia and now be aligned with the Groudon that they have at the back with our Kyogre. So overall this looking like a pretty solid battle, and of course we can beat them down with our Kyo pretty easily, while Dialga stands no chance now, because not only we have a Kyogre here loaded on energy but also the Dialga of our own, and since we got the shield into play they know they stand no chance, so they're just gonna let their Dialga get farmed down. Into the next one now with the Dragonite up in front. So this is obviously a very bad one, we need to get out of there as soon as possible, and our safe switch as always will be our Mewtwo. So even if they switch out here, I'm pretty glad because we have already done a lot of damage to the Dragonite at a point that potentially one Surf might just do the trick. So definitely a mistake here by my opponent, and right here I'm just gonna go ahead and bait for that Focus Blast. Doing so we can grab the shield, and I'm already fine by that matter, because now Mewtwo can go down and we can absolutely return into the battle with our two shields and Kyogre. So at this point I know that they have a Dragonite Pokemon, perhaps I will not shield at all my Kyo here, but of course we might be in a little bit of a pickle if we do not throw, so we need to sacrifice some energy in the process. But first I will try to charge up to a double Surf so that I can have one Surf here for the Melmetal and one more for the Dragonite. To my surprise they're gonna throw immediately the Dragon Claw. I was thinking that they could go for the Overfarm because I could switch out, but this trainer decided to go straight for the Dragon Claw. Pretty nice play, and at the back unfortunately they have a Pokemon like Excadrill. So this is pretty sad because we're losing straight and square to those double steals. This is just a bummer to be honest, because they can easily bait out of my backline my Mewtwo, and with Mewtwo out of the way and Kyo out of the way, perhaps my Dialga stand no chance against other steel types, which is an absolute bummer once again. Into the next one now with a positive lead, this time against the Groudon, and we're seeing the switch out to that Lugia. I was trying to catch a Sky Attack on Aeroblast on my Dialga, we managed to do so, but still it ends up being the Aeroblast. Hopefully though no boost on their side. So this means that we can pressure here for that shield with the Iron Head, and perhaps I need to block the next one, but then it hit me, they have so much energy, even if I block I might just need to double block my Pokemon, and I definitely do not want that. Instead I want to go in with Kyogre and start getting that knockout on the Lugia. At the back they have now the Rayquaza and the Groudon, so things aren't looking that great because with Rayquaza aligned perfectly with my Kyogre, perhaps we're gonna be in a tough position. So over here I'm just gonna say that this is gonna be a Precipice Blades, but it is not, instead just a Fire Punch, and yeah, that is kinda of a disappointment, but still we managed to pull through that final Side Strike, and it makes sense that they want to keep that Rayquaza alive with that shield for the end game. So another move is coming up, this time another Side Strike, big damage output on the Rayquaza. That was a very good call by not blocking, to be honest, and right here we can still pressure for the back-to-back moves, which is an absolute sightseeing, amazing sightseeing for the Master League to observe with Kyogre finishing off the Rayquaza so easily. Into the next one now with the Dragonite up in front once again. Let's see how well we can do here, because we're just gonna switch out into our Mewtwo, and because I was a little bit too dumb here, I'm just gonna throw the energy right straight ahead when I get the Side Strike ready to go with 5 of those Psycho Cuts, and to be honest that is a mistake. You obviously need to overfarm because the opponent can catch the move pretty easily, and yeah, that is a bummer. Anyways, still we managed to get a shield out of play, which is pretty great for the Melmetal, and because they might be thinking that we have a Focus Blast, I'm just gonna try to pressure even more here for another shield. However, this opponent knows better and they're just gonna let it go through, but still we can reach the final Side Strike to deliver the lethal blow on that Melmetal. So all of a sudden we might have a chance, because now Kyogre is not aligned with Dragonite and instead it is gonna be aligned with a third Pokemon. So right here I know we can survive one superpower. I'm just gonna take it and immediately switch out into my Kyogre, thinking that if they stay in, that superpower with a debuff on the defensive side might be kinda good for us. Over here I'm just gonna block the high horsepower, and right after I will proceed on the farm down. I'm expecting that Dragonite to return, but at this point I know that even a superpower will not be enough to finish me off, and all I need to do is to reach to the Origin Pulse, and doing so we can guarantee the knockout against the Dragon type Pokemon, and that's why I recommend going for the Origin Pulse over that Blizzard, because you can get there kinda faster, and of course you can still do a lot of damage even when this move is resisted. It is gonna be pretty amazing for your Kaio. Into the next one now with that Garchomp up in front, and the Earth Power is gonna connect for big damage. However, those Mud Shots are never gonna be enough to farm me down. That's why I decided to take the first move, and right after we can press for that second shield with a potential Surf. So as it seems here, they're gonna get to the next move. Not gonna throw immediately. First I will bank that energy for the end game, and seeing that I have done already a lot of damage with my Waterfalls, now I will switch out into my Mewtwo, since I have put them at the position that one Side Strike might just do the trick over here. So here comes the big move, they are gonna take it, down goes Togekiss. Even if Garchomp returns here, they have to face the wrath of our Side Strike, but instead they have a Metagross, which is still good news because we got the Shadow Ball, and right after we can get farmed down with this. All good here, since now we got a shield, they have 0 shields, and we can still land the big move with the Origin Pulse, switching out to the Garchomp, but at this point we don't care at all. We're gonna block whatever they throw, even the Santum, since we got already a move ready to go, and that move will be more than enough at this amount of HP for the Metagross to faint. Into the final one now, trainers, and we're gonna see that up in front we're facing a Mewtwo of their own. So this Mewtwo can be kinda tricky. So how I always like to play this is to go ahead and catch the second Side Strike on my Mewtwo of my own, but first I need to pressure for that Surf, and right here this is kind of a mistake that I did. I had to pressure that Surf of mine pretty fast, not that lately, because now we have sacrificed a shield and that is not looking that well. I want them to sacrifice a shield in the process as well before I do mine, but that doesn't matter since now we're facing these Togekiss on the Switch, and of course by having this Side Strike I believe that we can definitely farm down right after, which is pretty crucial at this point. We got 2 of those Side Strikes coming back to back over here, and my opponent with the Mewtwo will decide to take it, which is pretty great news. At the back they have the Excadrill, and another Side Strike is coming up, so all I have have to do here is to reach to the surf and then switch out into my Dialga, because we're having so little amount of HP that they might actually be able to completely farm down. I know I can survive one drill run, but I know that the second can be deadly, so all I want to do here is to block, and now this is a race to the next charge attack. They definitely have a little bit more energy than they used to before, so right here we're gonna get to the Draco Meteor before they reach to the drill run, and that is gonna be an amazing ending to this video, beating down the steel type with my dragon move. So that is gonna be all for today, trainers. Thank you for watching and for staying till the end. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, and perhaps consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more of my content. Doing so, I have 2 videos for you to check out, so feel free to do so, and I will see you all into the next one.